Hello and welcome to another fabulous podcast series right here on PodHub, and we are Rethinking Healthy. That is exactly the podcast series, and it's brought to you by AIA Insurance. It's actually a global campaign. The campaign is called Rethink Healthy, where obviously individuals out there are rethinking the whole health factor. What can you do to be healthy? You don't necessarily have to live in the gym on a daily basis to actually be healthy. There are so many other attributes that can actually assist your life in being healthy. Being healthy in terms of, spending time with your family, quality time with your family. Being healthy, making sure that you're financially secure, which is another interesting way of being healthy. Also, mental well-being is also very, very important today, especially the lives that we all lead. We're always on the fast lane every single day. The moment you wake up in the morning, there's really no time for you to relax because you need to basically get to things yesterday. We never have enough time, but at the same time, we always seem to sort of put being healthy in the back burner. Now today, among basically all our guests that we have another fantastic guest on the show today. It's Adhisha Dahanayake. Adhisha, of course, is the founder and CEO of the brand Double XL, and also she is a power weightlifting champion. She's on the show with us today, and let's find out more as far as Rethink Healthy is concerned with Adhisha. Adhisha, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me today.
So we're talking health, and we're talking rethinking being healthy, according to AIA. According to you, Adhisha, what does it mean to be healthy?
Well, good question. Actually, for me, I think when it comes to health, it's not only physically. For me, I think it has to be mentally, physically, and emotionally. Right. So, for me, I think, living your life as you want and enjoying your life that's what health is, right?
Yeah, of course.
In short, right?
Yeah.
So I think for that we have to have mentally, we have to be strong, and we have to have good mental health, and also emotionally we have to be strong to face challenges, day-to-day challenges, because I think we all are living it's like a rat race, right?
Yeah.
So I think for me, when it comes to health, I think just you live your life and you be happy, right? So for me, I think that is what health is.
All right. So we're going to get into, as far as health is concerned, how individuals need to rethink health. And of course, going back into your life per se. Right now, you're running a very successful brand, Double XL. Started back in 2010. So why don't you just give us some roots as to how that actually did come about?
Well, I think in 2010, you were right. So we started in 2010, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was, I couldn't find sizes for myself, and I wanted to fit in.
Right.
Which I didn't like, and which I don't like, and I will not like that.
Right.
So, and then I felt like I think inclusivity is not optional; it's essential. Right, you have to see, okay, if it's not set of segment of people, you can't left out. Right. So I saw the gap, and then I thought, why not? So let's introduce this brand and the product, so then people can be seen and they can include, and so it will change the society, the way they think. And I think we broke the stigma in 2010, and we sent it across a beautiful message saying every beauty comes in every sizes.
Right.
And I think so that's the whole point of me starting that brand along with the amazing team.
So obviously you did say that you broke the stigma.
Yes.
But clearly it could not have been easy.
Yeah.
What were your hurdles when you decided to, put out a plus size, dresses and a brand out there?
Well, there were few challenges from the beginning. One thing was, most of the, Asian markets, I would say, they take a little bit of time to adapt.
Right.
So when we really introduced the brand in 2010, it took about 1.5 years for people to understand the concept behind it. But I think once they really understood the concept, they really their mindset also changed.
Right.
And now I can see how comfortable they are with the brand and how beautifully they connect. So I think that's what matters as a founder. And also there were a set of people and who were thinking like, this is we are just encouraging unhealthy living style. But clearly what we as a brand, what we want is to build the confidence and also to give them mental peace. And because I'm sure like when you go in front of a mirror and thinking about your body shape and worrying in the morning, and if you can't find a t-shirt or a lovely dress to wear, I think that's not right.
Right.
Okay, that's where you really get your mental peace, right?
Right.
If you have beautiful piece of silhouette to wear and then piece of jewelry to wear, and you don't worry about your body shape, you don't worry about your skin color, but you can be you, right? So this is what we as a brand, we would like to actually introduce to, we have introduced and also we would like to continue doing. So XXL taught people to be you, be authentic, and also love yourself. So that's what we as a brand, we always like to.
So body positivity is very important.
Yes.
And thankfully in a world today, body positivity has actually taken off.
Yeah.
And looking without necessarily putting down anybody out there. It's encouraging and sort of at the same time accepting body positive, which is what your brand has gone out to do.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because I think we have done a lot of workshops to discussions like from day one, and also we always like to. I myself like to talk to my customers, and also whenever I go out, I would like to talk to people and talk about body positivity and how the brand and they connect. And also I think me being a woman, it's not easy in this industry, and also when it comes to retail industry in Sri Lanka and also in globally, it's not easy to survive when it comes to a woman, right? And no offense, but sometimes
it's difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult, right? But then I always like to connect the brand with the people, the community. So then it shows how the connection. So when you know the connection with the brand, and then they eventually organically they come and they buy the product, and they like to be in that society, in that part of that community.
Right.
Yeah. So I think we as a brand, we made that, and we actually, not only us, I think Shaq, now I can see a lot of brand, they have introduced plus size into their collections as well, right? Here and there. But I think I'm glad to see that, because it's not because I felt a very bad experience when I went to purchase a pair of jeans, because they started describing my body shape, right? And then I felt bad, and I felt crying, right? So I came out of the shop, and then I was thinking what I can do something different, right? So now I can see a lot of brands including they have include, so it's amazing. So then just imagine someone won't feel bad how it happened to me a few years ago. I don't think that will repeat in the society.
Did that affect you health-wise, when you obviously there was a pushback for you, right? You went out, you obviously couldn't get a hold of a pair of jeans that fit you, but again, we're talking about health at the moment. We're talking about rethinking health, and here you are. You've actually introduced a brand. You introduced a brand out in the market where individuals out there don't have to rethink themselves. And again, when, like you said, when you are in a situation where you just can't find anything that fits you, that could mentally affect you, even though we don't necessarily see it. Did that affect you?
Yes, it did, because this happened in 2000, between 2008 to 2009, I would say, because when I was in school, my school is Good Shepherd Convent Candy, so I was in school and I was a school games captain, so I've been absolutely active student there, and then I went to Australia, to Melbourne, to do my higher studies, and I came back, but I didn't see like, you know, people like really like insecure people,
Right.
you know, they are like, you know, in Australia, right? And also they were celebrating themselves, like they celebrated their size to age to skin color, right? So then when I came back, like it was like, wow, Adhisha, like you come here and then people are judging you and there's no clothes to wear, right? Even though you had few pieces, but it's like very normal stuff, like it could be like just a crew neck t-shirt and maybe like just a few pants, right? I mean, but not exactly like a fashion vessel for plus size people, right? So I went through a lot, because as soon as I came to Sri Lanka, then I was struggling to find like beautiful evening gown to like dress to go out and have dinner with my friends. So I was thinking, oh my God, am I look good? Like I mean, should I fit in, or, you know? So a lot of questions in my mind, right? So when you ask these questions every day, you don't feel like you're really living, right? And mentally you feel like, wow. But today I'm happy because I know that we broke that, and when I go to the store, like I have a beautiful big store to select whatever the clothes I like to. I mean, don't you think this is mental health?
Of course,
right?
I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about. I mean, you were in a situation that definitely affected you mentally, but you rethought that health situation, and you obviously now have a successful brand, and not only are you happy, you're obviously creating happiness for lots of other individuals out there who are also pretty much in the same boat, who couldn't find something to wear because of their plus size. Right?
And also this size, when it comes to this size, my body shape is like, I mean, my body is like a yo-yo. Sometimes I'm like 67 kilos and then 75, and then again like I go down to 55.
Right.
So when I was at school, like I was doing track events, and then all of a sudden then I had to change to field events because of my body shape. But again, like I managed and I lived through. So so this is the thing, right? And I mean, even though my size changes, my health wasn't changed accordingly.
Right.
But I was looking at mental peace. I wanted that.
Right. Well, now you obviously at the age of 30 have moved into powerlifting.
Oh yeah.
Right. And where and how did that change come about?
Well, I wish like it was 30. Actually, it was 35 or 36.
Okay, let me say in your 30s.
Yes.
In your 30s.
Oh, I wish. Yeah, you're right. So, so that was an interesting story. So, I think High Octane is like my second home.
Right.
Because when they have started, like I've been a member, and I really love this place and the team and also the management. So I, in 2016, 15, my father passed away.
Right.
So I was going through a little bit of a bad period, I would say. I was at a dark spot, dark place. And then I was trying a lot of things, like, you know, going to yoga retreat, to just traveling, you know, and then one time I think I went to Brussels to do a yoga retreat, and then along with my friends, actually, you know, we had a Europe trip, and then I went to Brussels alone to just do this retreat and come back home. So on my way back home, when I was in the flight, I was just thinking, like, Adhisha, you're going back to the same place you have started, right? I mean, but pain is still there, right? So that means you have to work inside to come out of that, right? So then I came home, and then the next day I thought, like, okay, I'm gonna stop like doing what I'm doing right now. I should speak to like my trainer, as in at that time I had a personal trainer, even now I do have. So the personal trainer, I spoke to him and I said, like, listen, I don't want to like you know, lose weight or something, but I just want to be fit. So I'm coming tomorrow, let's do like a new schedule and let's start. So we started, and then I was like pulling some weights, and then luckily Darin, he's a powerlifting captain at High Octane. So he asked me, like, Adhisha, you do really well, so would you like to join powerlifting?
Right.
And I'm like, wow. So I was looking at some platform to come out of that. Right. So I thought, like, wow, this is good, because what sports do to you, it does, it actually helps you to focus.
Right.
right? So I wanted that outlet. So then I was like, oh yeah, let's do this, right? And then and also anyway, I love sports, like me being the sports captain at school. So I thought like, okay, good. So then we started in 2018. We started training, and then it really helped me, and I think it rebuilt me. Powerlifting, I think it did total magic. So and then I did like some national powerlifting meets, and I held some records, and I've selected for Commonwealth in 2020. That was total of 380 kilos, and
Right.
it was under 84 kg women category. Unfortunately, we really couldn't participate that Commonwealth meet at that time, but again, I achieved, and then I'm happy that because I actually chose powerlifting, and yeah.
So basically what we're talking about is the fact that, how you rethink healthy, and then there was a point that you utilize sports to sort of rethink the situation you were in at that point, because you, like you said, were in a bit of a dark area.
Very much.
And that really helped you to come out of it.
Yeah.
How has that and you concentrating on health helped you with your brand at XXL?
Well, it's really interconnect, because when you are a powerlifter, you go to that platform and you focus, and it's a mind game, right? Because when you connect at that time with what you are doing, and you really pull it, and then you pull it and you pull it, and you know exactly, oh, this is my best pull, right? So likewise, when you go to business, right, a lot of people you meet, a lot of challenges, right? But every day you face these challenges, and sometimes you have to fail, right? You make mistakes,
Of course.
but you really bounce back strong. So I think that is the connectivity that I found. And also I think powerlifting helped me inside the gym and also outside the gym to be strong,
Right.
and to think different, and always to do more. And also I'm a person who do not like to give up.
Right.
I think that also really helps while I was doing powerlifting too, and also outside the gym.
Right.
Yeah.
Adhisha, there are lots of ladies out there who are plus size and are very self-conscious.
Yeah.
Because obviously body positivity is not something that they are used to.
Yeah.
You have to be lucky if you are in a circle of friends who accept body positivity.
Yeah.
Right? But there are other individuals, there are other ladies out there who want to come to the gym,
Yeah.
who want to basically be, work out, be healthy. But they just cannot find it in themselves, because again, they question themselves when they said, well, what are they going to talk about?
Yeah.
When I come to the gym, they're all going to be staring at
Yeah.
me, etc., 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 right? What's the message you have for ladies like that?
Well, I think it's real change come within you, right? That's what I've learned all these years. So if you want to change you, because I think we are physically or mentally or emotionally, when you want a change, I think you have to make the first step, right? So what I would like to say, for every women who like to come to the gym but still thinking, right? That's the question, right?
Yep.
So why don't you just give a chance to yourself, right? Because when you do something for you, right, it's very powerful.
Right.
Rather than listening to others, okay, what I'm gonna do, and should I go to a gym, or should I start Zumba? Just try everything, and find what you like. And if you feel no, I need mental health first, just go and seek help. And if you need anybody to talk, you can just do that through a lot of therapists we have. And then you can maybe do painting or something to relax your mind. And then later on you can just come to a gym, and then you can start working out. But everything, the whole process is very personal to
Right.
each other, right? So first you have to speak to you, and then why not just motivate yourself? And self-motivation is very powerful, as I
Yep.
mentioned. So
Yep.
just do it.
So Adhisha, now obviously you're a very busy person, running the brand, of course, pushing the brand out there. At the same time, you are focusing on yourself, You're coming to the gym. You're basically, you're a power weight lifter. Where do you find the time to unwind and relax, or do you unwind and relax?
Yeah, I do. If you asked this question like 10 years ago, I would have been like, no. But now, yes, because I think I've learned a lot through the process too. My father passed, and then I was very busy. If you ask this question like 10 years ago, I'm like, oh no, I'm not, because I don't have time. But now I take time, because I think what matters when you really love yourself. And I think I started doing that like a few years ago. And especially like last couple of years, like wasn't easy for me, because I think we all, entrepreneurs are also humans, right? We all have the same emotional baggage sometimes, right?
Yep.
So I think I learned that how to reset myself. So most of the time, those days I used to go out, like with friends and to a beach and then relax. But I think now after 40s, I think I really changed. 42 now, so I've changed as in like I like to stay at home. So Saturdays I like to cook like my favorite meal,
right?
And I watch a movie, and then I speak to my mother and also my niece and also my cousins. And then Sunday it's like slow morning, like my coffee, and then watch a little bit of Netflix, read a book, and I recharge myself and reset for the next week.
That's healthy also, isn't it? Because
Yes.
you need to do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? Because at the end of the day, you're really pushing yourself on Monday to
Yes.
Friday.
Yeah.
But again, you need to, those are other attributes where you need to rethink being healthy.
Yes.
And it's not just living in the gym every single day that basically makes you healthy.
No, because I think every 5 days, as in like Monday to Friday, I work out.
Right.
So because I think that is the true discipline that I got it from powerlifting also. Because when I was doing powerlifting, 4:30, like I start work like around 9 o'clock, and by around 4:30 I stop and I start playing my playlist. Because powerlifting, I had like very separate playlist.
Right.
So I started like my headphones on, and then I started listening to that while I was at office.
Right.
And then by around 5:30 I come to the gym, and I have my pre-workout, and slowly start like walking like on the treadmill, and then mobility exercises, and then I start like lifting. So that routine, even though currently I'm not into powerlifting, because I've stopped like few years ago, because I think you have to give 100%. My thing is you have to give 100%. If you can't, then you better not do it, right?
Yeah, right.
So I think that discipline I still do have. So that's why I come to the gym and one hour, and I work out very hard, and then I go home and I relax. And that's why Saturday, Sunday I keep like just to cook my meals. I love cooking. I enjoy cooking and baking.
Right,
So
right.
I just do that for myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Adhisha, obviously it's been a treat to have you on the show, and then we're talking about how you have sort of rethought the whole process
Yes.
of being healthy.
Yeah.
Now, if just before we wind down, if you are in a position to actually advise your younger self, right, in terms of body positivity, in terms of confidence, in terms of strength, what would you tell your younger self from all the learnings that you've obviously gone through to where you are right now?
Oh, right. That's a nice question. I would say just be you, Adhisha. Don't change, and be authentic. You don't have to listen to like what people say or do, right? And it's just your life, right? Because this is a beautiful life. We all have to be very grateful, and I'm so blessed to be here and talking to you right now. So there are a lot of blessings in life. So I should tell my, if I can talk to my younger self, I would say like, just be you, Adhisha. Yeah, don't change.
It's been a pleasure. Adhisha, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for
you.
being a part of the show. Adhisha Dahanayake,
Thanks.
of course, the founder and the creator of Double XL. And yeah, she's obviously with us giving her side of the story on the process of her life. Stuff that she went through. Body positivity is something very important. Accepting body positivity is also something very important for each and every one of us out there. Rethink Healthy is what we're basically talking about. Now, health doesn't necessarily come only at the gym. Health necessarily doesn't come only because you exercise. We, again, like I said earlier on at the beginning of the podcast series, we all are living in such a stressful life. Every single day there is a stress that we need to encounter, and there are different types of health factors that we need to consider, and that's exactly what AIA Insurance is talking about, where you need to rethink being healthy. Stuff that you can do, stuff that you can actually keep your mind occupied. The way that you are financially sound also is something very important in terms of being financially healthy. Lots of things that we're basically talking about. That's the podcast series for you, and we're obviously coming to you from High Octane at Havelock City, and a big thank you out to everybody at High Octane for making this work. This is of course the AIA Rethink Healthy podcast, which is brought to you by AIA Insurance. We'll be back with another fabulous guest very soon.